It's a bit better after midweek.
Yeah, midweek was tough to take. I think it was tough for the players, tough for the fans, tough for me. And I think the disappointing thing is after you've won 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 or whatever it is, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're going to suffer now. They're going to come back for this." And I think we showed tonight that it's not affected us. We went into the game, got an early goal, and I thought we deserved to win the match over the piece.
Yeah, I mean, really, again, it was probably karma that you'd have to have a little bit at the end of the game, a bit like Newcastle, but you came through it, and that's a big test.
Yeah, we did. And again, I put Ryan on. We go 5 at the back, but Ryan now gets up and wins that header, and that's the difference between winning and losing a game sometimes. And you make the calls, and sometimes they work for you, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I mean, it was important though, wasn't it? As you say, yeah, you were quite keen to stress you need to keep a sense of perspective after midweek, because before that you'd won 5 on the bounce. But having said that, even so, it was still important to come here, win, play well. Yeah,
we needed to win the game, because if you looked at the table, I think we dropped out to 5th before the game. And not that the table's absolutely crucial at the moment, but we don't want to give any of these teams any sort of real leads upon us that we need to try and chase and catch up as the season goes on. And I think it was important that we came here, put a good performance in and won the game, and we did that. So I think there's always a lot of overreaction if we lose a game, particularly in the manner in which we did, which is disappointing. But I think we just need to keep a steady head, because if we're in about there come Christmas, as I said, for Christmas onwards, will really dictate whether you're going to go up or not.
And you must have been really pleased not only to get the early goal, because that then sets the tone, but that first half you really controlled it. You passed it and made it difficult for them to get any head of steam up at all.
Yeah, because obviously they're a good side at home. They've signed some quality players, particularly at the top end of the pitch. And like you say, I thought some of our passing movement in the first half was great. We should have been more than one up. Jacob was a great chance, and that should have really sort of put the game to bed a little bit.
Can I just, I know it's a collective effort today, but just pick out Wes Ulan. Can you tell us what you thought of his performance today?
Yeah, he's magic, isn't he? I mean, he's a special player for us. And I felt during the week against Newcastle, the game didn't suit him, which at 3-1 I probably looked right. But then I bring him back in the day, because I know in certain games, particularly when teams are quite open, they play with one certain midfield player, that the quality that Wes has got, and once again he done what he's capable of doing, which is create chance after chance for us.
Yeah, I mean, you've said all along that the age he is now, you've got to manage him, and that was proven today, because he probably couldn't have done what he did today if you'd have played him at Newcastle. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think that is fair with Wes. And me and Wes have got a real good understanding in terms of using him at his best and getting the most from him. And I look after him, and what he tells me is he looks after me when he goes on the pitch. So yeah, he's fine.
And obviously Robbie Brady, that's what he's all about. We all know he's got that quality. Lovely to see that. Great goal.
Yeah, great. And we actually said to Robbie before the game we need a little bit more from him, because he's been better than what he's shown recently, and then he pops up with that. So really pleased for him.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, did you think, because you said that both him and Martin came back from the Euros and they have an abbreviated pre-season, they picked up an injury or two, do you think it's just took him a little while to get back to the levels we all know he's capable of?
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of expectation levels on a lot of young boys at times, and he's only about 23, 24, Robbie, so he's still a young lad, and I think the expectation level on him, because of how good the Euros he had, sometimes he maybe just needs to come to terms with that and just focus on performing as well as he can and not worrying about all the hype and what other people are saying.
One downside though, I mean, the goal again, you'd be disappointed the manner of it.
Yeah, especially at that stage in the game, because we're quite comfortable. Although we had to defend our box, the cross comes in too easy for that side, and we've got 2 players at the back post against 1, and he managed to get up and get a free header. So yeah, it's certainly something that we need to improve on. The boys are disappointed because they wanted a clean sheet tonight, but as I said before, the most important thing is winning the game.
Tim Closer again underlines, that he is key, isn't he? You've got a lot of good players, but he's just a leader, isn't he? At the back?
I thought he was terrific tonight. When he plays like that, he's a key figure for us. I think that's probably been his best performance, certainly in recent weeks.
What was your thoughts when 5 minutes went up?
Same again, it's either 5, 6, 7 or 8 minutes we seem to play. They actually played 7.5 minutes. So yeah, I don't know if it's a new initiative, but I'll be thinking that if we're chasing the game and needing something, I'll be expecting 7 or 8 to come up.
And obviously nice now to bounce into the international break with a win. Spirits are up and everybody's looking forward to the next game coming round.
Yeah, I think it just shows how things goes in peaks and troughs. Say that after we won 3 or 4 on the bounce, and everybody was really down after Wednesday and it was the end of the world, and then we win again today, and now we're all back on track again. Everybody's happy, so it's good.
Do you think, talking of being back on track, that's 23 points from 11. I think you said the other day that it's basically 2 points a game. So on that ratio, where you need to be at this stage of the season?
Yeah, I think over the years, that if you look at historically, teams that go up on average are about 2 points per season. If you get 2 points per season, I think 95% of the time you get promoted. So if you look at that as a sort of stat, if you like, then we're right on track or just ahead of track at the moment.